Hey guys and gals, boys and girls, cats and dogs, whoever you are out there. This is kind of an introduction to my YouTube channel and slash Facebook, whoever is watching. Um, Going to do a little bit of vlogging plus radio station stuff. I just come on to tell you that as you know, I've been doing paranormal shows for the last 9 years. Radio, internet radio, whatever you call it, for the last 9 years. Mainly paranormal radio. I created my own station, music station, about a year and a half ago, whatever it was. Reverse 96 FM. To hear it, you can listen to the nightbreakshow.wix.com/ghostgetter. 70s, 80s, 90s is kind of a time travel thing. Listen to it. You'll know what I mean. But anyway, come by here to talk to you about what we're going to do. I'm slowly getting out of the paranormal radio thing. Although I'm thinking about once in a while talking about it, because it's a big part of my life, and I've been born into the thing. I grew up on weird things happening. Of course, I'm a weird person, so that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, how can I not talk about it every once in a while? But I decided not to do a show every week on it because, there's other ventures that I'm interested in. I've been involved in wanting to do radio since I was 10 years old, as some of you know I've told you about. And my big role model or idol was Casey Kasem, Mark Sebastian, those old radio station types of people that had personalities. They seemed a bit normal. They weren't different like everybody else is today. But since I graduated and got in my own thing with the station and the shows on the internet and all that, it kind of it's very, very hard to get a job here in town. Dallas used to be the top 5 market. I don't know if it still is. But it's real hard. Hey, creepy. It's got a wide eye. Anyway, it's very hard. Squirrel! But it's really hard to get a job here in Dallas because of the people that have been involved in it for so long. You have your Russ Martins and your Kid Craddock's, and of course Kid Craddock passed away and his people took over, so that's probably never going to change. So no one ever leaves the business here. It doesn't matter if they're any good or not, if they have nothing to talk about anymore, if their skits are pretty much dry. Whatever the case is, some may be good, some may not. I don't know. I know there's a few of them out there that tend to copy my ideas. You know who you are. But I decided I wanted to run my own station, and I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to do my own shows. Like last week I talked about the blues thing in Mississippi that I embarked on. It was an endeavor. It was really cool stuff. You can listen to the show on the website. You can also go to patreon.com/ghostgetter to hear the show and all that. But there's a lot of things that go into this. Programs, equipment, time, money, all that. And I realized that the paranormal shows that I was doing and all, it started to, people started to not really be interested anymore. And of course, that's okay. I don't mind doing them. It's just that I felt like I was talking to a wall. And the reason is because I've seen a lot of people that are fraudulent out there, a lot of people that are stealing from people, lying to people, trying to be somebody they're not, trying to act like somebody they're not. I'm not saying that they were faking evidence. but I'm saying that there might have been embellishment or two. There have been times when these people were told that this stuff wasn't true, so they went with the story anyway, and they still used it even though it wasn't true. There were those out there that went to jail for stuff they shouldn't have been doing, and they still are doing it and still taking money, even though they took people's money. The list goes on, and the sad part is, no matter what I said, no matter what I exposed, no matter what the evidence that came out, the truth that came out, all the stuff that I've said over the years, and I have hundreds of shows, fell on deaf ears. People still follow these people. They still give them money, even though they know that they are up to no good. It only tells me that people don't care because maybe they want to do what they do. I don't know the reasons, and I don't really care. But anyway, I decided, it didn't seem like it was. I don't know what that is. It didn't seem, well, that's my mic, but I didn't know what the front of it was. But it didn't seem appealing to me anymore, so even though I like to talk about stuff, I want to go back to when I talked about it for my own reasons and not because so-and-so was lying, so-and-so was cheating, drama this, drama that. I wanted to do it for my own reasons, and it kind of went from here over there. Some people got angry that I talked about religion. Who doesn't? Some people got angry that their favorite people were exposed. Why not? They're lying to you. So there's just too much involved. And I kind of missed talking about music. I kind of missed talking about the environment. Kind of missed talking about things. And I also stopped using humor. One of my best qualities is humor. One of my favorite things to do is do voice characters and voiceovers and writing material, doing skits and all kinds of cool stuff. The station that I love to do. But it takes time and it takes money. Some of the skits take hours. So, but anyway, I created this for my own reasons. A lot of people said, well, don't give up, don't quit. Well, I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up on the dream I had. I'm just changing things and doing what I want to do and doing what I love to do. I may not get people that listen. I may not get people that really care. I hope they do. I hope you do. But I'm going to use my humor more than because I know that I'm funnier than most of these people here in Dallas claim to be. These radio station DJs or whatever they are, radio hosts, are just not very appealing to me. And if it takes people out there to take my skits or take my ideas, it must mean that they're losing it, so to speak. They're doing whatever they can to keep their job. Understandable. And I don't mind. I just wish I could get the credit for it. But anyway, get back on the subject. I started this, wanting to do this since I was 10 years old. It's been a dream of mine to be behind the headphones and a microphone, to just listen to what it would be like to do what they do, to be in a studio and to talk about the things that they talk about, to interview the people that were, just to learn about them and their creativity and all that stuff, just to learn about them and what they do. I rarely like to do interviews because I think it's the paranormal main reason. It may not be that field, but there were people there that were just wrong in so many ways. Worst case being one of the guys that I wanted to interview. I've known him for a little while. I asked to interview him. He said it would be great. Him and his people, because they were doing dogs in their field. They were using dogs, kind of like dog sniffers and everything, to find out if there was anything in the house. And I thought it was a great idea. It was interesting. Nobody's ever done it before, so I want to interview the guy. So I went to go ask him. All of a sudden, I had to shut it down. Couldn't interview him because radio station fell out, whatever it was. Equipment went bad. I don't remember the reason, but I couldn't interview him because of that. Took me a year to get back into bringing things back up to what they are again. Went ahead and went back to ask him. By that time, he had his own TV show. He had his own thing going. He was getting famous. He was getting popular. Everybody knew him. Everybody was watching him. Then the next thing I know, I asked him, I said, hey, everything's working out now. Would you like to still do the interview? And he went from being the nice guy to, how many numbers do you have? And I thought, what? What do you mean, how many numbers do I have? What does that mean? How many numbers do I have? Basically, he was asking, do I have a lot of people that listen to my radio show? And I said, what does it matter? I don't care if I have 10,000 people or 100,000 people or one person. I'm still going to do the show whether I like it or not because I love to do it. That's why I do it, because I love to do it. And if that's all you care about, then never mind. I'm not interested in interviewing you. I don't want to interview you. Go off and do your own thing. Never responded back, so I'm taking it. He was basically saying that that's all I care about. Well, this is not the first time this has happened. I've had people that just ignored me, people that were more worried about their features and them themselves personally and so on and so forth. So I got disgusted because it stopped being about the reasoning behind it. It stopped being about the passion and started being about themselves. It stopped being about doing it for the love of the game instead of, it wasn't about doing it for the love. It was doing it for the love of themselves. So I never really asked anymore. I've asked a couple of here and there since then, and I got one turned down. It was a YouTube vlogger a couple of years ago. And it really irritated me because it was a YouTube vlogger that was really, really into metal detecting and all this stuff. I thought it was really cool. I thought he was really unique. I thought he had all kinds of stuff. Well, he told me he was under contract. He might be on TV and he can't interview with anybody else because it might have something to do with, irreconcilable differences. I don't know what the reason was. He said it was, not good with the contract if he talked to some radio station and he's on TV, whatever. And it may, may butt heads. Even though I was on the internet, not getting paid. 2 weeks later, he's on a radio show. So I was kind of disappointed. I was kind of embarrassed in a way, disappointed. It hurt a little bit. So I stopped asking. Since then, one or two maybe here and there I got ignored, but I really, really don't like to ask, but I do get the guts enough to ask every once in a while. But I realized, I'm not really doing it for them anyway. I want to interview them because I like what they do, but I like what I do, and I like doing it for the passion of it. Because, it is, and that's one thing a lot of people forgot. Personalities became fake. People became fake in radio. They all want to talk from the gut. And they all sound like this. And they all sound like they're from a club. Push it! They all sound the same. Even in radio, they sound the same. We're going to play a little Van Halen for you. And it's just, there's no personality. And they think just because you talk like that, that's the only way to get a job is if you talk like this. So, no, I'm not interested in talking like that. People say, be yourself. I want to be myself, and I'm going to be myself. But anyway, that was just to let people know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get up and show you what I'm working on here, what I'm trying to do, and all that stuff. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So what I did is I said, I don't understand why these people in radio and everything are getting paid for what they do, even though some of them are terrible at it. Why they're getting paid for what they do, but yet I'm doing this for free. I love doing it for free. I don't mind because it's a passion. And they do say, if you love the job, it isn't work. But I have to survive and I have to carry a job to pay the bills. So So I have to do it on my spare time, and sometimes I really don't have time, or I'm just too darn tired to do it. And it costs money for the equipment. It took me a lot of time. Like I said, 9 years. It took me to build this empire of crap in my office. But I really, really would like for you, those of you that actually care or interested, to support my Patreon page. I don't really ask to do it. It's just that I think if there's people out there getting supported on, FM, AM radio, for a multitude of reasons, why not me? For years I felt guilty for even asking. I felt guilty for doing a GoFundMe or anything like that. I didn't do a GoFundMe, I don't think, but I felt guilty for even asking. So, because I'm doing this because I love to do it. But I thought there's nothing wrong with having people support me on a Patreon page. So, because people do it, artists do it, writers do it, vloggers do it. There's even people that do podcasts. I saw a guy the other day that was getting paid $42,000 a month just by doing podcasts. And I said, well, I'm in the wrong bit. Wait a minute, I am in the right business. But I'm not getting nothing. So I said, I don't have many listeners, so maybe my problem is I don't get out there. I don't tell people what I'm doing. I don't advertise, and I don't advertise very well. I've never learned to advertise myself. Facebook, maybe a couple of videos on YouTube, here and there. But who really knows that the station exists? Who really knows that my shows exist? So I never really gone out and advertised, except for Facebook mainly, or Twitter. So I felt like, I need to get myself out there to get people listening, because I know I got good stuff and I know people will like it. And you can see that by my work on YouTube and Patreon, patreon.com/Ghostgetter. You can see my work on there and my voices and skits that I've done and things like that. But I've got all kinds of multitude of different things. And so I'm asking people to support the show, support the station. Come by and listen to the station. I mean, it's free. Maybe when you're sitting there fiddling around with something, you can listen to, past shows or music or whatever. And in between songs, I got skits. The station's basically about time travel, letting you know what it's like to be in that era or that decade in the past. From playing commercials in the 80s or 70s or 90s to playing news clips from the 90s, 80s, 70s. Playing just stuff you've completely forgotten about. And I think it's the coolest thing. And nobody's ever come up with that idea, except for, pretty soon people are probably going to copy it, because that's what they do. But come by and support the page. That's all I'm asking. I don't really even charge but $1 on Patreon. I'm just looking for supporters. And to keep this stuff going. Let me show you my office and everything I built over the last 9 years. I haven't lived here for 9 years, but close to it. And what I've done in this room alone and how I've changed things. So, this is it. This is boards that cost me a lot of money to build and to buy and to build it up. This is the station that's running right now, which is one of the one of the bits that we've created. It's playing on this station right now. Reverse 96 FM. thenightbreezeshow.wix.com/Ghostgetter. That's how to listen to the station. One of the links of many. But we've created different things for the station, of course, and then there's, switch to the 70s stuff.
Reverse 96 FM. Rocking your past off.
See? Got something going to the 70s right now. And then there's my mic and, of course, my crummy, falling apart chair. Because it takes money to buy this stuff. Microphone isn't cheap. That cost me some money. I took out a credit card to get this stuff, so I'm going to be paying it for the next 20 years probably. More microphones. Anyway, I don't know what that was, but anyway, I had to buy more mics. Weren't cheap. In case I get radio show co-hosts and people that come into my office, because I'm trying to create it. I'm trying to create a studio here, basically. So anyway, that's part of it, and got some CDs and stuff. But these are the shows that I've done over the last, some of them, 9 years. There's CDs and more CDs and more CDs and stuff like that. CDs down in there, and just my sports corner. And then there's my other stuff on the walls. Created a Star Wars Moesque or whatever. And then there's my Guns N' Roses bobbleheads. But anyway, my mouse pad. Yeah, mouse pad. Got that from Mississippi Grammy Museum. Pretty cool. And I'm still working on it and building more. Trying to make it look more like a studio and trying to make it sound better than what it was before, because I have, as you can see, the boards on top of the boards. The old boards were Radio Shack boards with cheap mics from Walmart and things like that is what I started with. It worked pretty good, but it wasn't the greatest. So I'm trying to create something here, and I know that I'm good at what I do. And I know I have a passion for it. I'm good at what I do, and I'm hoping that other people will see that I'm good at what I do and be a part of that. So support it. My page, www.patreon.com/Ghostgetter. You can see it on Facebook as I repost it. And I just started Tumblr, and I started Twitter on Twitter. And you know, I know that I'm good at this, and it's a dream of mine. It's always been a dream to do this, and I'm just asking people to help support my dream and keep it going, because I know the station costs money to broadcast it live. It's not, you can do it for free, but it doesn't work. There's only so much you can do with it when it's free. So I've learned. I thought I could do everything for free, and I'm like, no, I can't. It only limit me to do stuff. I even got old programming to run the station. That's 2006. But anyway, to run the internet station, everything, it's not free. I can't even get it on TuneIn unless I pay for it. So anyway, unless I pay for the station running 24 hours a day. And they won't have me on TuneIn unless I have the station running 24 hours a day. But anyway, this is going to be the YouTube vlog on the channel. It's an introductory to what it is. To listen to the station, www.thenightbreedshow.wix.com. On the bottom of it, there'll be links. You'll see links on my Facebook. Go to my Patreon too, to support, become Patreon, show some love, peeps, some love, and keep listening to the bits and stuff. If you like it, then join. That's why I'm not even asking for much, but if I get enough people, heck, who knows the possibilities. I wouldn't have to work on it. You know, well, it is work, but I mean, I could actually pay my bills, and I could do this full time, and I could actually have the time to do it full time, where some of the things don't sound like it's quickly made up. But anyway, thanks for support, and I'm hoping you guys will be a part of it and support the show and the station. Okay, so right now it says I have one listener in 2 days. That just goes to show I don't advertise as much as I should. But anyway, I appreciate it, guys and gals, and hopefully I'll get more people on here to do the shows and the interviews and I won't be hearing this. It's all about the numbers. Anyway. So thanks a lot, people. Show support. Show some love. See you next time. See ya.